student, welcome to my channel. So in this slot we're going to discuss chapter 6 form 4 acid, base and salt essay question. All right, we move on to the essay question. So the experimental essay that expected this year will be preparation of standard solution and also preparation of soluble salt that not containing K and N ion. For example, copper 2 sulfate is a soluble salt, zinc sulfate is a soluble salt, magnesium chloride or magnesium sulfate salt. All this is known as soluble salt that not containing K and N ion. Before we move on to the next the experiment, we try to check a few important questions, small questions that going to come out for the acid, base and salt. All right, student must remember the definition of strong acid and weak acid. Strong acid and acid that ionizes completely in water, producing high concentration of hydrogen ion. All right, and we have a few short essay question like glacial ethanoic acid do not contains water. Therefore, the pH value remained neutral. And when we diluted the ethanoic acid in water, the pH value will go down or become 5. That means when we diluted with water, so it will ethanoic acid, the formula of ethanoic acid CH3 will ionize partially and produce hydrogen ion, which show the properties of an acid. So how to answer this one? Water absent in glacial ethanoic acid. Ethanoic molecule do not ionize in the presence or without the presence of water. No hydrogen ion in glacial ethanoic acid to show acidic properties. While water present in dilute ethanoic acid will ionize to produce hydrogen ion. The presence of hydrogen ion will cause the aqueous solution of ethanoic acid shows its acidic properties. Thus the pH value become 5. All right, so next one, they give two type of acid. One is strong acid, another one is weak acid. All right, so please remember strong acid, all the strong acid will be hydrochloric acid, nitric acid and sulfuric acid. All these acid, it will ionizes completely in water. And please remember weak acid like ethanoic acid, and one more is a methanoic acid. This acid is known as methanoic acid. All these will ionizes partially in water. So how to answer this short essay question? Ethanoic acid is a weak acid. It ionizes partially in water, producing lower concentration of hydrogen ion. Hydrochloric acid is strong acid. It ionizes completely in water to produce high concentration of hydrogen ion. When the concentration of hydrogen ion is higher, the pH value is lower. Therefore, there is a differences in the pH value. Try to look at this question. All right, so tables 10.1 shows the information of solution P and solution Q. So we have solution P and solution Q. All right, with the different pH value, different same concentration but different pH value. Okay, the pH value is less than 7. The pH value is less than 7. It can react with copper 2 oxide to produce copper 2 nitrate solution. That means here we take the acid. So here it react with copper. So this acid react with copper 2 oxide to produce copper 2 nitrate. So that means the acid that contains nitrate ion. So name of this acid will be nitric acid. Please remember. All right, and next one, react with sodium hydroxide to produce sodium ethanoate. That means this solution Q. So this is P. All right, so this is Q. Q react with sodium hydroxide to produce sodium ethanoate. So CH3COO Na. That means the acid that used here is what acid we call ethanoic acid. Please remember ethanoic acid. Alright, so this ethanoic acid is weak acid. State the name of the solution P and Q, which solution has higher pH value, and explain your answer. So point number one, solution. Solution P is nitric acid. Solution P is nitric acid, and solution Q is ethanoic acid. So which solution shows higher pH value? So point number 2, explain your answer. All right, so we put solution Q. Solution Q shows higher pH value. Okay, then solution P. All right, so then point number 3, how to explain. All right, so solution Solution Q is ethanoic acid. Acid. Okay, then ethanoic acid is weak acid. Is weak acid. It will ionizes partially in water producing low concentration of hydrogen. Solution P is nitric acid. Again, then we put nitric acid will ionizes. Nitric acid is strong acid and will ionizes completely in water producing high concentration in water producing high concentration of hydrogen ions. All right, so point number 5, so I write point number 5 here. When the concentration of hydrogen ions is lower, the pH value is higher. Thus, solution. So we check which solution. Solution Q. Thus, solution Q shows higher pH value. All right, so I'll read the answer again. So first point, solution P is nitric acid and solution Q is ethanoic acid. Solution Q shows higher pH value. All right. Then solution Q is ethanoic acid. Ethanoic acid is a weak acid. It will ionizes partially in water, producing lower concentration of hydrogen ion. Solution P is nitric acid. Nitric acid is strong acid. It will ionizes completely in water, producing high concentration of hydrogen ion. When the concentration of hydrogen ion is lower, the pH value of this pH value is higher. Thus, solution Q shows higher pH value. So we already entitled to get 4 marks. All right, now look at into question number 4. So we go for titration. So once this diagram is shown, the name of the reaction is known as neutralization. Please remember the name of the reaction is neutralization and the method is titration. So the question they will ask type of reaction will be neutralization. The method is titration. So chemical equation, please remember sulfuric acid react with potassium hydroxide. I'll try to do here. When sulfuric acid react with potassium hydroxide, so the product will be, we take out the hydrogen ion, we take out the sulfate ion, potassium ion, and hydroxide ion. During chemical reaction, so the hydrogen ion combined with hydroxide ion, we will get water molecule. So erase the hydrogen and hydroxide ion. Potassium joined with sulfate ion KSO4. We take the two, put at the bottom of potassium. All right, so we need to balance the equation. How to balance the equation? Potassium 2, so I put in front of potassium hydroxide 2. Then please check the hydrogen, total hydrogen on the left hand side. Here I got 2, then here got 2, total 4, so please put 2 times 2, 4. So this equation is balanced, so the given here. All right, and please remember the observation: when phenolphthalein added to potassium hydroxide, the solution will be in pink color. So at the end point or neutralization point, the observation will be pink color, solution turns colorless. And please remember the titration formula: MAVA over MBVB, okay, equals to NA and B. All right, and this is number of mole. Please find from the equation. So here the number of mole is 1, and potassium hydroxide number of mole is 2. All right, so we try to do the calculation here. All right, so the number of mole, they ask calculate the molarity of potassium hydroxide. That means we need to find the MB, molarity of potassium hydroxide. So we try to find the molarity of acid. MA is here, volume of acid VA is here. All right, so this is VB. Okay, so and the number of mole we need to find Na and B, we need to find from the acid and alkali. Please try to do more question on this part. All right, we move on to the next question. Try to check the question. All right, so in this experiment, if this experiment is repeated using sulfuric acid, that means in this reaction they use sulfuric acid. they use sulfuric acid is repeated with hydrochloric acid. Predict the volume of hydrochloric acid needed to neutralize the potassium hydroxide solution, and with the both concentration are same. So we try to check here. The experiment is done by using sulfuric acid, and the volume that obtained is 25 cm power 3, and the experiment is repeated by using hydrochloric acid. So we need to predict the volume. All right, please remember the sulfuric acid is known as diprotic acid, while the hydrochloric acid is known as monoprotic acid. Number of ionizable hydrogen ion per molecule of sulfuric acid. It has 2 hydrogen ion to neutralize. It will produce ionize and produce 2 hydrogen ion, 2 mole of hydrogen ion. So this one will produce water molecule, this one will produce water molecule. So we need only 1 sulfuric acid. When we repeat the experiment by using hydrochloric acid, since the hydrochloric acid is monoprotic, so 1 mole of hydrogen chloride or hydrochloric acid will ionize to produce 1 hydrogen ion. Therefore, we need 2 molecules of hydrogen chloride, so it will ionize and produce hydrogen ion. 1 become 2. Alright, so that means we need to take the volume of hydrochloric acid, we need to times with 2. So 2 times with 25. The volume get here 25. Alright, so 2 times with 25, that will be 50.0 cm power 3. How to explain this question answer? So hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid used is diprotic acid, while hydrochloric acid that we need to predict is monoprotic acid. In the same concentration, again the volume of hydrochloric acid is twice, or we can use double the volume of sulfuric acid. The answer is given here. All right, so the volume of hydrochloric acid is that needed is 2 times with 25, which is 50. Why? Explain your answer. Sulfuric acid is diprotic acid, while hydrochloric acid is monoprotic acid. In the same concentration, the volume of hydrochloric acid which we need to predict, okay, needed to neutralize the potassium hydroxide is double the volume of sulfuric acid. Please remember, study the application of neutralization process. All right, try to check this question. So in this reaction, they use sulfuric acid reacted with potassium hydroxide, and this reaction is known as neutralization reaction. So state the type of reaction. So I put here type of reaction. The type of reaction is neutralization. Okay, and point number 2, they want the chemical equation. So we put here chemical equation. So please write down the chemical equation. H2SO4, sulfuric acid react with potassium hydroxide. So what product we will get here? We take out the hydrogen ion, we take out the sulfate ion, potassium ion, and hydroxide ion. So hydrogen ion combined with hydroxide ion to produce water molecule, and potassium combined with sulfate ion to produce KSO4, and take the 2, put here. Alright, so potassium sulfate, erase all these, and we try to balance the equation. Please careful when you balance the equation. Potassium 2, so I put 2 in front of potassium, balance. And please check the number of hydrogen ion on the left hand side. So here got 2, here got 2, total 4, so I put 2 times 2, 4. Alright, so this is the equation. So we already scored 2 marks here. Alright, next question, they want, we try to check the question. Okay, calculate the molarity of sulfuric acid needed at the end point. Okay, end point is titrated 10 cm. Okay, the volume is given. So the volume of sulfuric acid is given. The volume, okay, is 10 cm power 3. Alright, the volume is 10 cm power 3, and the volume and concentration of potassium hydroxide given. So please write down the formula of titration: MAVA over MBVB, okay, equals to NA&B. Alright, so NA&B. Alright, from this we need to find the molarity of acid. So please check MA, the volume 10.0, molarity of base. Please check the molarity of base given here 0.5. So therefore I put here 0.5, and volume is given 20.0. Number of mole, please check the number of mole acid from the equation. So in front here 1, so I put 1, and the number of mole of base in front here 2, so I put 2 here. Alright, so 2 here. Alright, so now we try to find the molarity of acid. So MA will be 0.5 times 20.0 times 1, divide with this one bring down 2 times with 10.0. All right, so calculator, find the answer. So the answer will be 0.5. Please remember the unit for molarity, mole dm negative 3. Please remember, so try to put the unit mole dm negative 3. So we already score 6 marks. Please go through and please do more question. All right, these are the essay question expected can come out for the titration and neutralization process. And please remember the essay question. The essay question will be preparation of standard solution. Look at the essay question. So this one can come out in section C, question number 11. All right, so this essay question is very important, preparation of standard solution. So during the preparation of standard solution, again, known concentration, a solution with known concentration and volume. All right, we check the question. Describe how would you prepare. So this is the volume given here. Again, molarity is given. So please remember, we need to find the number of mole. Please remember to use this formula. All right, so molarity and volume of sodium hydroxide is given. Okay, starting from the solid in the laboratory. So include the following aspect in the description. So material, apparatus is needed, calculation involved, and step involved in the preparation. So we try to check the diagram. So first thing, we need to measure the mass. So in order to do calculation, we take the number of mole mv over 1000, apply the volume and concentration given in the formula. So volume is 1.0, volume is 250 divided by 1000. So we will get the answer 0.25. So 0.25 mole. And please use how to find the mass. So please use this formula, mass over molar mass. Molar mass. From here, we try to find the mass of solid sodium hydroxide needed, number of moles times with molar mass. So this is the formula that student need to do. Then we need to take a weighing balancer. Then we weighted the mass and we use a small beaker and glass rod. Okay, we put the mass of sodium hydroxide, solid sodium hydroxide. We add sufficient distilled water. We stir the mixture to produce a solvent, and we must use volumetric flask. 250 cm power 3. This one must mention. By using filter funnel and also glass rod, the sodium hydroxide solution is transferred into 250 cm power 3 of volumetric flask. Then we must rinse all the filter funnel, glass rod, small beaker, okay, by using distilled water, and we must transfer the solution into the volumetric flask to ensure all the sodium hydroxide solution is transferred into volumetric flask. Then the distilled water is added until the water level reach the level mark or graduation mark of the volumetric flask. Then we close the volumetric flask with stopper, and we shaken and inverted the volumetric flask to mix well the solution. All right, so the answer is given here. So I start with apparatus. Apparatus must mention 250. Follow the volume given, 250 power 3 of our volumetric flask. Electronic balance, filter funnel, glass rod, small beaker, weighing bottle, weighing balancer, okay, washing bottle, okay, all that is very important. So then we need to find the material, sodium hydroxide solid and distilled water. Calculation to determine the mass of solid sodium hydroxide, we use number of mole mv over 1000. We apply in the formula, we try to get, so this will be here. All right, we try to get the formula. All right, we try to find the number of mole. Number of mole given is 0.25. All right, then next, the mass of the solid sodium hydroxide, we use N equals to N times with molar mass. So we apply, we already get 10.0 gram. So procedure, please go through all the procedure. 10 gram of solid sodium hydroxide is weighted in a weighing bottle using electronic balance. The solid sodium hydroxide is transferred to the small beaker. Sufficient distilled water is added to dissolve all the solid sodium hydroxide. Using filter funnel and glass rod, the sodium hydroxide solution is transferred into this one, very important, 200 cm power 3 of volumetric flask. All right, the small beaker, weighing bottle, filter funnel, glass rod are all rinsed with distilled water, and the content is transferred into volumetric flask. The distilled water is then added slowly and until the water level at the level mark of the volumetric flask. Close the volumetric flask with stopper. The volumetric flask is then shaken and inverted to mix the solution completely. Thus 250 cm power 3 of standard solution of sodium hydroxide with the concentration 1.0 mole dm negative 3 is prepared. Please go through the answer. Please do more revision. Right, we move on to the salt. Please remember the definition for salt. Please remember salt is an ionic compound. And it's formed when salt is an ionic compound formed from when the hydrogen ion from an acid is replaced by any metal ion or ammonium ion. And please remember the solubility of salt. Please remember for chloride ion all soluble except which one is insoluble. Please remember persatuan agama Indo. Only these three insoluble, and PbCl2, silver chloride, and mercury chloride. Please remember. And please remember silver ion for the confirmatory test of chloride ion. For the confirmatory test for the chloride ion, please remember silver ion. Okay, and next salt, the solubility of salt. And please remember all is white color. Please remember this one also can use for all halide ion. All halide ion are soluble, okay, except persatuan agama Indo. Alright, this one insoluble. And please remember PbI2, lead 2 iodide is a yellow color precipitate. It's a yellow color precipitate. Alright, so we move on to the next one, sulfate ion. Please remember sulfate ion. All is soluble. So which one is insoluble? Pb. Barium ion, calcium ion, lead 2 ion. Barium sulfate, calcium sulfate, and lead 2 sulfate are insoluble. All these form white color precipitate. And please remember barium ion for the confirmatory test. For the sulfate ion, please remember barium ion for the confirmatory test. Alright, so these are the confirmatory tests that student must remember. Solubility of salt that student must remember. Please remember all these is a white color precipitate, and please put here lead 2 iodide is a yellow color precipitate. Alright, so we move on to the next one. Alright, so barium sulfate, Butcher Pb, and copper 2 carbonate, please remember is insoluble. It will form green color precipitate. Alright, so we move on to the confirmatory test of nitrate ion, sulfate ion, and chloride ion. So for this, please check this one. How to memorize the confirmatory test for all nitrate, chloride, and sulfate ion. So this is the N ion. So here the acid that we needed. The N ion, first N ion is known as nitrate ion, and second N ion chloride ion, and third N ion is sulfate ion. Please remember for this one the ion that we should take is silver ion, persatuan agama, and for this one please remember barium ion. Alright, so please remember this one. Alright, so for how to memorize this one, no salary cannot sleep comfortably. Please remember no salary cannot sleep comfortably. Alright, for this one, for nitrate ion, please take the acid that start with sulfuric S. So we need to add dilute sulfuric acid. Alright, so please take 2 cm power 3 of dilute sulfuric acid, and we take the sulfate ion here. In front here we add iron 2 sulfate. So we need to add concentrated 2 cm power 3 of iron 2 sulfate solution, and we need to add few drops. Alright, so please remember the last one is few drop of concentrated sulfuric acid. Okay, without shaking the test tube. So we will see the brown ring. So brown ring will form at the middle of the solution. So here we can see the brown ring will form at the middle of the solution. So how to answer in essay form is given in the module. Alright, so how to answer this one? So we try to read the question. Describe the confirmatory test to show the presence of nitrate ion in lead 2 nitrate solution. So pour 2 cm power 3 of lead 2 nitrate solution into test tube. So we need to add dilute sulfuric acid followed by concentrated iron 2 sulfate solution, and we add 3 drops of concentrated sulfuric acid. Alright, these are the solution that student must remember. So we add 2 cm power 3 of dilute sulfuric acid followed by 2 cm power 3 of concentrated iron 2 sulfate solution. We tilt the test tube slightly and add 3 drops of concentrated sulfuric acid. Please put without shaking the test tube, and please put the word carefully. Alright, a brown ring will form at the middle of the solution. Confirm the presence of nitrate ion. So 5 marks here. Alright, so we move on to the next ion. Okay, the next ion, chloride ion. So no salary cannot sleep comfortably. So for chloride ion, please remember for chloride ion, the acid that we need to take is dilute nitric acid. Please remember we need to take nitric acid, and please take the nitrate ion, put here, and we take the silver ion we put here. So we need another solution, dilute silver nitrate solution. All these is 2Cm power 3. So we try to check the answer for the chloride ion. Alright, so chloride ion. So we try to check the answer. So describe confirmatory test to show the presence of chloride ion in magnesium chloride. So magnesium chloride solution is a soluble salt solution. Okay, so how to answer this one? We pour 2Cm power 3 of magnesium chloride solution into test tube. We add 2Cm power 3 of 1.0 mole Dm-3 of nitric acid, followed by 2Cm power 3 of 0.1 mole Dm-3 of silver nitrate solution. Shake well the test tube. A white color precipitate will form. Ionic equation, we take the silver ion combined with the chloride ion, it will form silver chloride. This is the white color precipitate. So please remember this one. Alright, we move on to the next ion. Okay, cannot sleep comfortably. So this is sulfate ion. For sulfate ion, the acid that start with C. So we take hydrochloric acid. Please remember this ion, barium ion. So here we need to add dilute sulfuric acid, followed by we take the chloride ion and we take the barium ion. Barium ion, so we put here barium ion. So the solution that we need is barium chloride solution. Alright, so please remember dilute sulfuric acid and barium chloride solution. So we Alright, so we read the question. So describe a confirmatory test to show the presence of sulfate ion. So we pour 2Cm power 3 of magnesium sulfate, we add 1.0, 2Cm power 3 of 1.0 mole Dm-3 of hydrochloric acid, followed by 2Cm power 3 or 1.0 mole Dm-3 of barium chloride solution. Shake well the test tube, a white color precipitate form, ionic equation is given. Please go through. Alright, so other N ion, cation ion, please go through the silver ion, lead 2 ion, copper 2 ion, all is given. Ammonium ion, please remember Nessler reagent. Nessler reagent, it will form brown color precipitate. Iron 2 ion. So if let's say iron 2 ion is present here, so we add P hexa. When 2 we put P hexa 3. What is P hexa 3? Potassium hexacyanoferrate 3 solution. If iron 3 ion, so please remember KSCN solution. Alright, KSCN solution, we add potassium thiocyanate solution, red blood coloration will form. Alright, so please remember all the confirmatory tests. Alright, so we move on to this question. Check this question. Alright, okay, diagram shows the reagent bottle containing zinc nitrate and zinc chloride solution, mixture of zinc nitrate. It contains zinc ion and nitrate ion. Okay, and one more zinc chloride. So it's zinc chloride, it contains zinc ion and chloride ion. So basically there's 3 ion, zinc ion, nitrate ion and chloride ion. So they ask what? So we check the requirement of the question. Describe a confirmatory test to determine the presence of cation ion, zinc ion, and ions. They already mentioned here and ions. Okay, more than one. So here nitrate ion and chloride ion. Okay, in your description include material use, okay, procedure and observation. So we try to do the material. All right, so I reduce the material, so no need to do material. So we try to do like this. Solution Y contain is a zinc nitrate solution, and zinc chloride solution contains zinc ions, okay, chloride ions and nitrate ions. All right, the confirmatory test to show the presence of zinc ion. So we pour 3Cm power 3. Okay, we pour 2Cm or 3Cm power 3 of zinc nitrate solution into a test tube. We add drop by drop ammonia solution until in excess of ammonia solution. Okay, and we shake well the test tube. A white precipitate will form and then dissolve in excess of ammonia solution. So we already score 5 marks here. All right, we move on to the next question. So next confirmatory test, the confirmatory test to show nitrate ion. So how to answer this is brown ring test. We pour 2Cm power 3, no need 3, so make it 2. All right, so we pour 2Cm power 3 of zinc nitrate solution and mixture of zinc chloride solution into a test tube. We add 2Cm power 3 of dilute sulfuric acid, followed by 2Cm power 3 of iron 2 sulfate solution. Fill the test tube slightly and we add 3 drops of concentrated sulfuric acid carefully without shaking the test tube. Brown brown ring will form at the middle of the solution. All right, we move on to this third confirmatory test to show the presence of chloride ion. We pour 2 cm power 3, no need 3, 2 cm power 3 of zinc nitrate, mixture of zinc nitrate and zinc chloride solution into test tube. All right, so then we add 3 cm power 3 of dilute nitric acid followed by 2 cm, all these 2 cm, 2 cm power 3 of silver nitrate solution. Shake well a test tube, a white precipitate is formed. All right, please write down the ionic equation. The ionic equation, silver ion combined with chloride ion will form silver chloride. So this is the essay question that student must remember. We check this one, question number 12. Okay, when write the chemical equation when copper 2 carbonate is heated strongly. Please remember copper 2 carbonate is a green color crystal or green color powder, and this copper 2 carbonate, please remember when metal carbonate is heated, we will get a metal oxide plus carbon dioxide gas will be released, and we will get two products. All right, so copper 2 carbonate when heated, please remember we will get copper 2 oxide and carbon dioxide gas will release, and this copper 2 oxide is a black color stone. All right, and please remember, please check this equation. When zinc carbonate is heated, we will get zinc oxide plus carbon dioxide gas will release, and this zinc oxide when hot will be yellow color. When cold, it will turn to white color. And one more, please remember when lead 2 carbonate is heated, we will get lead 2 oxide plus carbon dioxide, and this one when hot is brown color. When cold, it will be yellow color. And please remember, all metal carbonate can undergo thermal decomposition except potassium carbonate and sodium carbonate do not undergo thermal decomposition. Please remember this point. Potassium carbonate and sodium carbonate do not undergo thermal decomposition. So here when we have two product, please remember the metal is metal carbonate. All right, and we have one more when metal nitrate. When metal nitrate heated, we will get three product, which is brown color gas will release. All right, so please check here. So copper 2 nitrate. Copper 2 nitrate when heated strongly, we will get a metal oxide, which is copper 2 oxide plus brown color gas, which is nitrogen dioxide, and colorless gas will release. How to balance this equation? Just put 2 here. Alright, so we need to balance copper 2. So I put copper 2, and we need to check the nitrogen. Nitrogen 2 times 2, 4. So here I put 4. Oxygen balance itself. We check here. So oxygen 6 times 2, 12. So oxygen will be here 2, here 8 plus 2, 10. So please try to do more revision on this part. I try to do another one. Lead 2 nitrate. When heated strongly, we will get lead 2 oxide, nitrogen dioxide, and oxygen gas. Alright, so how to balance the equation? We put 2 here, we balance the lead 2, nitrogen 2 times 2, 4, we just put nitrogen 4, oxygen balance itself. And please remember this lead 2 oxide when hot is a brown color solid, when cold it will turn to yellow color solid. Please do more question on this part. Alright, so we move on to the next question. Check this question. Alright, try to check this question. Alright, so we try to check this bottle X and bottle Y. Okay, bottle X and bottle Y contain zinc salt. That means one of the cation ion is zinc ion. So here also zinc ion. Alright, so we try to read the question. Log found 2 bottle contain zinc salt, bottle X and bottle Y in laboratory. The label of bottle are faded, so she can't identify the type of honey. Log and it have to heated the zinc salt strongly to test the gas release using lime water and glowing wooden splinter. Alright, so it shows the finding. So here yellow color solid is formed, turns white. So here we already have one product. Alright, so another one, lime water turns cloudy. That means the gas release is carbon dioxide. We already have two product. Second product. So the 1, 2 product, please remember when metal carbonate is heated, we will get two product, which is metal oxide plus carbon dioxide. That means this bottle Y contains zinc carbonate. Alright, we check here. We have 1, 2, 3 product. Alright, so we check here, yellow solid is formed and turn white when cool, and brown color gas is released. So the brown color gas will be nitrogen dioxide. Glowing wooden splinter is relighted, that means supporting combustion, that will be oxygen. So here 3 product. So that means bottle Y is bottle Y zinc nitrate. Zinc nitrate. So here we put zinc nitrate. Zinc nitrate. So bottle X, so they ask questions, so we check the type of question based on the observation. Identify the salt present in bottle X and bottle Y. So bottle X will be zinc carbonate. All right, zinc carbonate. Bottle Y will be zinc nitrate. Zinc nitrate. Write down the chemical equation for the one of the salt. So I'll try to take this one. So zinc nitrate when heated strongly. So we will get zinc oxide plus nitrogen dioxide plus oxygen gas. How to balance this equation? Just put 2 in front of this and balance the zinc 2. So we put zinc here 2. Alright, next we balance the nitrogen 2 times 2, 4. So I put 4 here. Oxygen already balanced. So please remember this equation. Alright, describe another confirmatory test to show the presence of anion in bottle Y. The bottle Y is made up of zinc nitrate. So anion. What is mean by anion? Remember the N, negatively charged particles or negatively charged ion. So negative ion that present in zinc nitrate is nitrate ion. How to describe the confirmatory test? Please use 2cm. 2. Alright, pour the zinc nitrate solution into test tube. Add 2cm power 3 of dilute sulfuric acid followed by 2cm power 3 of concentrated iron 2 sulfate solution. Iron 2 sulfate solution. Tilt the test tube slightly and add 3 drops of concentrated sulfuric acid carefully without the shaking the test tube. A brown ring will form at the middle of the solution. Confirm the presence of nitrate ion. Please go through and do more question on this part. Alright, we move on to the next one. Please check in the module page number 3. Preparation of this is known as preparation of soluble salt that not containing K and N ion. So please try to do all these questions. Alright, and this is known as precipitation. Preparation of precipitation reaction or double decomposition reaction can come out for structure question. Please go through all these and try to do revision. Alright, we move on to the next essay question. Try to do this essay question together. So here we see here 1, 2, 3 product. When this substance is heated, we got 3 product. That means this salt is known as metal nitrate salt. And this residue X will be metal oxide, and we try to get here react with nitric acid. The metal present is lead, so here we have lead to oxide. So the residue from here, lead to nitrate. From lead to nitrate, we already know this is lead to oxide, and the salt P is lead to nitrate. Alright, the brown color gas is nitrogen dioxide. This one is oxygen gas. Oxygen gas is a colorless gas. Okay, this lead to nitrate. Please remember point number 1: potassium ion, sodium ion, ammonium ion, and nitrate ion. All this is known as soluble salt. Alright, so please check this is soluble salt, and potassium iodide solution also soluble. When soluble, we will get insoluble, that is known as precipitate. So we try to take the lead to ion and combine with iodide ion. So the precipitate will form is lead to iodide and is known as yellow color precipitate. Please remember yellow color precipitate. And the name of the reaction. So we need to identify salt P lead to nitrate, residue X. Residue X is lead to oxide. Brown color gas Q is nitrogen dioxide, gas Y is oxygen, and precipitate W is lead to iodide. Alright, go through all the chemical equation. State the color of precipitate W, lead to iodide, and it's a yellow color, and the name will be lead to iodide. Please put lead to iodide. Alright, so next we move on to the reaction number 2. Please check reaction number 2. So I put here, this is metal oxide. metal oxide react with acid. When metal oxide react with acid, the name of the reaction, neutralization. Reaction number 3. So this is soluble salt. Soluble salt, the name of the reaction, precipitation or double decomposition. Alright, describe confirmatory test to verify the anion that present. We already do a lot of practice. Please remember, lead-2 nitrate contains. So I put here lead-2 nitrate contains lead-2 ion. So we try to put Pb2 positive, and one more will be nitrate ion. Nitrate ion. So confirmatory test to show the presence of lead-2 ion. So we pour the lead-2 nitrate solution into test tube, 2 cm power 3 lead-2 nitrate solution. We add few drops. We add 2 cm power 3. We add 2 cm power 3 of potassium iodide solution and shake well the test tube. We will get a yellow color precipitate. Alright, so the answer is given. Pour 2 cm power 3 of lead-2 nitrate into solution into a test tube. Add 2 cm power 3 of potassium iodide solution. Shake well the test tube. A yellow color precipitate is formed. So ionic equation is given. And nitrate ion. Pour 2 cm power 3 of lead-2 nitrate solution into test tube. Add 2 cm power 3 of dilute sulfuric acid, okay, followed by 2 cm power 3 of iron 2 sulfate solution. Tilt the test tube slightly and add 3 drops of concentrated sulfuric acid without shaking the test tube. A brown ring will form at the middle of the solution. So here 5 marks and here 5 marks. So total 10 marks. Alright, we move on to the essay question. This can come out in section C. Question number 11. Preparation of soluble salt that not containing KNN ion. So please remember sulfate, zinc sulfate. And remember the sulfate ion, all soluble, the one insoluble, Bacher PB, only 3 is insoluble. That means zinc sulfate soluble sulfate salt and is not containing KNN ion. Therefore, it can be prepared by neutralization. Acid react with metal oxide or acid react with metal carbonate. We can take any of these. Alright, so we try to read this question. Choose a suitable substance used to prepare zinc sulfate salt in the laboratory. So we can use acid. We need acid, so sulfuric acid. We need metal oxide or metal carbonate. So I use this. So we don't need this one. We no need the metal nitrate. Metal nitrate no need. Alright, so I take these two. So we try to do the equation. Sulfuric acid react with zinc carbonate. So we will get carbon dioxide and water molecule. The salt, here I take the zinc ion, here I take the sulfate ion during chemical reaction join. So I will get zinc sulfate, cancel. So this is the equation that student have to write. Alright, so how to prepare this salt? We take the sulfuric acid. Look at the diagram. We take the sulfuric acid, we take the zinc carbonate, we added into a beaker, we heated the mixture. We must add this one in excess. The zinc carbonate must added in excess until there is a unreacted zinc carbonate formed at the bottom of the beaker, and we do filtration to remove the unreacted zinc carbonate, and the solution that forms zinc sulfate solution is evaporated in evaporating dish until the volume from 4 to 4 turn to 1 to 4 of the volume of evaporating dish. The saturated zinc sulfate solution is allowed to cool at room temperature. The crystal for zinc sulfate form is then be filtered and dried by pressing between few filter paper. So the answer is given here. 100 cm power 3 100 cm power 3 of 1.0 mol Dm-3 of nitrate sulfuric acid is measured and poured into beaker. The sulfuric acid is heated gently. Zinc carbonate powder is added into sulfuric acid and the mixture is stirred with glass rod. Please make sure the zinc carbonate is added in excess. Check the next point. Zinc carbonate powder is added into sulfuric acid until excess. The mixture is then filtered to separate the undissolved zinc carbonate powder. The filtrate is poured into evaporating dish and evaporated until it turns saturated. The saturated salt solution or zinc sulfate solution is allowed to cool at room temperature for crystallization. The mixture is filtered and the crystal zinc sulfate are dry by pressing between few filter paper. Alright, so these are the essay question and can come out for acid and base and salt. Okay, I hope you all like this video. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye. See you all.